different entities, at the same time different sectors, who believe in our solution and believe in us as their partner to drive excellence Saudi. That was our central location for the region. However, we cover, as myself, I'm covering Middle Eastern Africa and Asia Pacific. So from here, from Africa to the North Africa, Morocco, to Egypt, to the Gulf region, Saudi, UAE, and so on, up to Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, and Singapore, and so on. So we're covering almost half of the world on the map just to support our customers and other organizations on procurement way. I'll move to this one. And I think, as we discussed again, and as we heard the whole morning about why this conference is done, and thank you for the organizers of the conference. It's my pleasure to be here again. And I read the main word written here is to build professionals for supply chain on leadership skills and innovation. And I think this is a great initiative that we are here to support as well. Let's zoom on Tanzania. So we came to Tanzania almost 3 years ago through an entity that I will mention right now, which was an honor to be together. In the beginning, it was very interesting for me to say, how can we penetrate this market? And how can we help a country in Africa that size to drive innovation and also move forward to the new world of digitalization? So we thought about, are they really ready to do that? When we start going deeper, we found out that all mentioned here about efficiency, risk management, spend management, saving, compliance, all of that are matching for Tanzania. And definitely thanks to the government for that, because having all of you here express exactly what we're trying to drive. And they took it as a very clear initiative to drive that in the country. And I think they are ahead of many other countries in Africa, either in East Africa or the South African region. But this is why we're here today, to help the other countries as well, the same like we helped Tanzania before. This is what I'm talking about, and this is our presence in Tanzania through Zanzibar and e-government of Zanzibar. And I want to thank here again Dr. Hussein for sure for his support in making us working together, in trusting us to help him change the world of procurement in Zanzibar with the e-government of Zanzibar, and definitely with all the support of the team here. And it was a journey. It was a journey going from procurement, the old-fashioned, with papers, to the new era of procurement, when everything is digitalized. This partnership started 3 years ago. And at the beginning, it was very hard to convince Zanzibar itself about how can we make them successful. How can we make procurement easy to use? How can we help people to be compliant and also digitalized to the extent that they can now bid on the portal in less than 1 hour, everything is done without touching one paper. And that's a big progress and a big success. And I think it drives professionalism as well and excellency in how we do business together. So again, Government of Zanzibar is only the start of our business. It's not the end. And it's a long-term relationship together with the government. And now we're trying to work, and we want to work with the rest of Tanzania government with the same support of the President Hussein as well, and definitely Her Highness President Dr. Samia as well moving forward. So just a small coverage about also our region as Middle Eastern Africa and Asia Pacific. And our regional headquarters is in Dubai, but at the same time we flew all the way here to be with you. And it's an honor to be here for sure. And by the way, we had a delay in Nairobi for over 3 hours for the flight. But we were very happy to make sure that we are here with you to talk and to learn from you as well of how can we do business together. Our MIA PAC office is based in Dubai, as I mentioned. And I think we have over 60 customers in that region that believe in us. From government perspective, we have Dubai government, we have e-procurement as well, we have e-government of Zanzibar and many more. We're very strong in aviation sector, banking, across all sectors, I think we have a big coverage. And the team are all present to support this coverage and make sure that we do things with you on the ground, not virtual and not online, but to make sure that we are hand in hand supporting your operations to be successful and make sure things are doing smoothly so that you help all the sectors, including private sector in Tanzania, which I think it's a very big and growing sector that we want to explore as well and make sure we work together in driving procurement excellence. The message I want to leave you with before I give it a hand to my colleague here, we are the leaders in procurement on driving digital transformation in procurement excellency. And we want your support for sure, and we're happy to support every single customer present here and across all the countries in Africa, not only in Tanzania, to make sure we take you to the next level. And I think we're ready to do that, and we're proud to be here again. And with that, I want to invite Mahdi, my colleague, he's leading the pre-sales, to take you through more technical depth across what we did and what we're planning to do. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Hani, for the presentation about Jaeger. So, again, we are really proud as a Jaeger to be part of this conference. That is the 16th for procurement. We are trying to take you to another level and to see the different capabilities of Jaeger 1. So, I will start with a short story. So everyone here, I'm pretty sure that they have kind of complexity in their daily tasks. Our goal is, as a new paradigm of digitalization, is to take you to another level and to achieve time to value. How? So let's imagine this is your desk today with different tasks that you are using Excel, SharePoint, internal tools, and so on and so forth to manage your tender, you manage your relationship with your supplier, managing your contract. That might be hundreds of contracts in your desk and invoices as well. So our goal is to help you to have adoption and to manage the change in procurement and to achieve digitalization. How? You can see over here that everything by using a digitalization and concrete procurement solution that you will have aligned with and achieve time to value. For instance, let's take the example of source to contract. So you have managing your suppliers' relationship and qualification through emails, the tendering through SharePoint, the performance of your supplier through SharePoint. So you will have modules who will be able to manage your qualification of the supplier, your tendering. You will not be lost. And you will definitely achieve something very important, that is compliance. You will have full visibility about what's going on in the platform, who did what and when exactly. And this is the goal that we are trying to achieve with this digitalization. So moving a little bit forward, how we can do that is using our Jaeger 1 solution that has been presented by Hani already, and I will introduce you also in the technical part and the different modules that we have. So we have different customers in Africa, and as mentioned also by Hani, the government of Zanzibar. And let's focus on the different modules that we can highlight. So you can see from right to left, starting with the supplier intelligence that I call the door of entrance for your supplier to create collaboration. So after all, you have to create this trust relationship with your suppliers in order to have the different aspect of and achieving compliance. So where you manage the onboarding of your supplier, you qualify your supplier, managing the performance of your supplier, and also surpass any issues that you might face with your supplier by creating some development plans. Okay? Something also very, very intuitive in source to contract is how you are managing your spend. So via module of spend analytics, you will have different reports that will be available for category managers, for buyers, for also any business review. You will have those that will be updated automatically in the platform, and you will have full visibility about what's going on in the platform. Moving to the category management, I'm pretty sure that you will have different categories all over your procurement cycle, if I can say, such as packaging or any service IT that you might ask for. So here you can set up some strategies that will help you to have mature procurement and set up exactly what you are expecting from this category. One of the key aspects also, and trying to move forward here, is the sourcing. How you manage your tendering part. This is something very important. You will invite multiple suppliers to participate to a tender, and they have to interact with you. They have to reply on time. And here's something very important, and we know here that when you set a deadline for a supplier and you are managing this, for instance, by email, one supplier may send it, you do the deadline at 12 p.m. He might send it at 12:05, and he will say it was a problem of connection. So to avoid anything such this issue, you will have a traceability in the platform, and he will be blocked automatically in the platform without having the flexibility to surpass this deadline. This is just an example. Definitely, you will have to achieve the main goal, that is collaboration over here. Contracting part, we manage the full contract life cycle management, and this is something really appreciated also by different clients, where you will have your legal team involved. It's not only about the procurement department, but you will interact also with the legal in order to manage the different clauses that will be created in the platform that you are dealing with potentially today by papers or SharePoints that you have to copy-paste. So everything will be digitalized in the platform. Moving to the cataloging part, where you manage your different catalog, hosted catalog with the suppliers. So you negotiate with your different suppliers, different articles, different items that will be available in the platform. So you just pick and choose. It's something like similar to the B2B and Amazon that is available. Moving to the invoicing as part, very important as well in terms to achieve compliance, and we have like the flexibility to manage invoicing in our platform, and this is something also really appreciated by our clients. And what we highly recommend, because after all, we have all those modules, but to go step by step as we went with our with the government of Zanzibar, to go by phases. And this is something very important, to go with the supplier management, to onboard your supplier, to qualify your supplier, manage the performance of your supplier. After that, you go step by step, or what I can call baby steps, in a way to achieve compliance and to have like a concrete change management that will be effective and efficient for during the time. We have one layer that is a new paradigm, and all the world is talking about is AI. So we have an artificial intelligence that is embedded in our solution through all the platform and the different modules that you can see. You can see it on the top right of the screen, where what we call it J as our agentic AI. Okay? So keep in mind that is very simple, and you can pick and choose in terms of module. So as you start with supplier management, you move forward with the sourcing, the contract, so that all the procurement are gathered and the digitalization is achieved. Moving forward a little bit, this was just a glimpse about our solution and how it looks like. Moving forward a little bit, and just between brackets, what we have, as I mentioned, AI is a new paradigm. It is very good for us also to achieve something very important, is to share with you our roadmap and where we are going as a solution, procurement solution that is leader in the market all over the continent. So today we are having intelligent assist with a human first, where we are asking multiple questions and multiple action to this agent that is creating things, creating a tender, for instance, or looking for a supplier that is available. And we are moving in the future to have like autonomous agent and putting human in loop. You might ask yourself how we might put the human in loop, is that everything will be centralized on human in order to achieve time to value. Remember that time to value is the key aspect. So we don't want you to spend much time creating things. You will have templates and everything already pre-populated in order to be guided in the platform and to be autonomous in the future. So I would like to highlight also one aspect that is very, very important. You might ask yourself that today you are having multiple ERPs. Maybe some companies over here are using SAP, the other are using Oracle, or any internal tool that is available here in Africa, such as Maximo or any internal tool that you are using. we would like to reassure you that we are doing integration with all those tools available in the market. Our API are open. I'm getting into a little bit of details for the IT. However, it's something very important to keep in mind that we integrate with different ERPs available in the market, even the small one that is used just for internal. Okay? So, if you have any question, of course, in the future, we have like our stand over there. I know that lunch is soon, so just bear with me. Another aspect, as a new paradigm also, we are talking about sustainable procurement. I heard this word for the last 10 years all over the continents, in Africa, in Europe, in Middle East, APAC as well. Sustainability is key to save our planet, and I was impressed by the 3 days I had in the safari, how you are caring much about the savannah, about the animals, and how they are freely in the forest. So something very important is that there are some third parties available in the market in order to achieve sustainability. So to keep track of the suppliers, if they are sustainable or not. And we can also share with you some examples that we have standard in our solutions, such as EcoVadis. So you can keep track of this, the supplier, if he is sustainable or not. And this is something also very important, because some audit, and to achieve compliance, you have to go through it. Let's go a little bit deeper in detail. So I had the macro vision about the solution. Let's get a little bit deeper, and here I know that all of you are experts in procurement, and let's get in step by step. So here we have the supplier management onboarding as a first module over here. So you onboard your supplier, you are collaborating with your supplier, and you would like to move forward to supplier. So the supplier will be registered in the platform, he will be qualified in the platform, and also create this relationship of trust between the buyer and the supplier, or the internal user, and we call it the external user. Moving forward, once this bond is created, you can start dealing with the supplier and inviting him to different events and objects such as sourcing, tendering, RFI, auction, and so on and so forth. Once, let's imagine that this sourcing event has been awarded, we can move forward and have this contracting part. And here, I mentioned previously that it's not the procurement who will be involved, but different departments, such as the legal, who will also keep track of the clauses and interact with the procurement in order to achieve different aspects. After that, I have to mention something very important about our solution, Jaeger 1. We have to say it once. So all the information about the supplier will be available everywhere, in the tendering, in the contract, in the category management, in the spend analytics, and so on and so forth. And once it is contracted, we can flip it into automated in catalog, and this article will be available as a contract and available in the catalog, so I can pick and choose in the catalog. We have the other way around. So you create the purchase order, and from the purchase request, and from the purchase request, you come back to your sourcing event, you launch an RFQ, or a tender as you call it, and after that you will award it and move forward. So keep in mind something very important. We have different clients in different sector, which means like governmental, public sector, and also non-public sector, and everything is configurable based on your business. Okay? Moving a little bit forward, we know that we would like to have paperless and plenty of invoice. I'm pretty sure that everyone might have plenty of invoice in his desk or her desk. So here you will have all the invoices, what we call the e-invoices, that will be created in the platform. Okay? So, as I mentioned, everything is configurable in your business, and based on your configuration, we will set up the platform as we did for the government of Zanzibar, here in Tanzania, and also in different countries in Africa. I would like to highlight and get into numbers, because success story will not be achieved without concrete numbers. Those concrete numbers I would like to highlight here is about the government of Zanzibar, that is here in Tanzania, and I will start by the modules implemented. So you can see here that we have 5 modules who have been implemented with the integration with the ERP they are using today. The supplier management, the sourcing, the e-procurement, the contract, and the invoicing. So those 5 modules are key pillars for the government of Zanzibar to achieve compliance and to achieve the procurement, the sustainable procurement. You can see here that they are interacting with more than 2,600 suppliers, and they are having almost 5,000 internal users between category managers, buyers, and so on and so forth. And if you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, they are running almost 3,000 RFQs, which is a huge amount to achieve compliance and to keep track of everything that is going between the supplier and the buyer for all aspects. And more than 3,000 contracts available also in the platform through our solution, Jaeger1. You might ask yourself, by providing those insights and also this configuration to the government of Zanzibar, what we achieve. So I can guarantee you that the online aspect and the value added and cash saving monitoring was key aspect. Also, in terms of, I mentioned at the beginning, the time to value, and I remember that His Highness the Minister of Finance highlights something very important as digitalization as a new paradigm, and in order to achieve time to value. And the Ministry is very supportive on this in order to have automation. Automation is going very, very fast, and today we have to follow the path in order to onboard the supplier, in order to qualify an efficient approach, and the change management inside all the companies to follow this path. I would like to conclude with one aspect very important. Today, digitalization is not a choice anymore. For us and for different countries, it is mandatory to achieve sustainable performance, because without digitalization, there is no performance. And thank you.
Kwa wale ambao watahitaji maelezo zaidi, wanabanda pale nje, sababu tukisema maswali tuko nyuma ya muda. Wanabanda lao liko hapo nje, tukapate elimu zaidi kwa mambo ya digitali. We thank you so much. We really appreciate. Namwomba kaka yangu James Sando, ujumbe wako kutoka PPAA kabla tujiendelee na mkurugenzi mtendaji. Karibu.
Unataka nitumie hiyo? Habarini za mchana, wataalamu wa ununuzi na ugavi. Mwenyekiti wa bodi ya PSPTB na mkurugenzi mtendaji na wajumbe wa bodi, nashukuru kwa nafasi hii ambayo mmenipatia asubuhi ya leo. Labda kabla sijasema kitu ambacho nimepanga kukifanya, ningependa kuwaibia kidogo wataalamu wa ugavi na ununuzi kutoka katika jiko la mamlaka ya rufani ya zabuni za umma. Mngependa niwaibie kidogo? Katika ulimwengu ambao tunamoishi, kila mtu atagundua kuwa makampuni makubwa katika ulimwengu huu yanachothamini si vyeti vyetu ambavyo tumevipata. Kuna muhenga mmoja alisema haya maneno, kabla sijasema ambacho nachotaka kuambia, kwamba ukipoteza fedha hujapoteza kitu chochote. Ukipoteza hela, afya, umepoteza kitu. Lakini ukipoteza tabia yako, umepoteza kila kitu. Najaribu kusema nini? Najaribu kusema kitu ambacho tunachokiona katika mamlaka ya rufani ya zabuni za umma ni kwamba ni kwa baadhi ya wataalamu wa ununuzi wa ugavi, sisemi kwamba ni wote, kiko kwenye maadili. Ndio maana nasema kwamba ukipoteza tabia umepoteza kila kitu. Tunaweza tukakupeleka shuleni kama huna kupata fursa ya kwenda shule, lakini hatuwezi kukufundisha tabia kama hukufunzwa tangu ulikotoka. Kwa hiyo kitu kikubwa ambacho ninawaachia, tunza sana tabia zenu. Mnapokuwa mkifanya maamuzi mbalimbali, tunza sana tabia zenu. Nadhani ndio maana watu wanasema maadili, maadili, maadili. Maadili ni tabia. Asubuhi ya leo ningependa kushirikiana na nyie, mkiniruhusu, wote kama mmeingia katika mfumo wa NEST. Tuna moduli ambayo inaitwa Complaints and Appeals Management Module. Hii ni moduli ambayo tumeanzisha tukishirikiana na Wizara ya Fedha, tukishirikiana na Mamlaka ya Udhibiti wa Ununuzi wa Umma, na imetengenezwa na Watanzania, sio watu wengine. Kwa hilo ningependa sana tujivunie kile ambacho Watanzania wametengeneza, kwa sababu ni cha kwetu, sio cha watu wengine. Kama marekebisho, kama kuna maboresho ambayo yanatakiwa kufanyika, ni hapa Tanzania yanafanyika. Sasa kabla sijaongea hili, labda niseme vitu ambavyo nitakavyozungumza kwa muda mfupi tu. Nadhani nitaangalia hivi vitu kwa muda mfupi sana. Nitaangalia historia fupi ya PPA, nitaangalia pia wakati muhimu kwa PPA, nitaangalia vitu vya mitambo ambayo tunatarajia kuiweka katika Mamlaka ya Rufani ya Zabuni za Umma. Alafu nitazungumzia pia kwa nini Complaints and Appeals Management Module. Na mwisho nitaangalia matokeo na uboreshaji ambao unaweza ukafanyika jinsi tunavyoendelea. Kwa kwanza kabisa ni kwamba PPA imepita katika haya mabadiliko ambayo najua ninyi wote mnafahamu. Hii ni mabadiliko ya sheria ya ununuzi wa umma, na bado serikali imeona ni vyema kwa Mamlaka ya Rufani ya Zabuni kuwepo. Tumepita katika, tulikuwepo 2001, tulikuwepo 2004, tulikuwepo 2011, na serikali bado imetutunza tulipofika 2023. Sasa katika hatua ya 2023 ilikuwa ni hatua muhimu, kwa sababu ndipo ambapo tulikuwa tunatekeleza mpango mkakati wa 2020-2021 mpaka 2025 na 2026. Hapa tuliangalia mfumo ambao uliokuwa unatumika awali, ambao ulikuwa ni wa kuleta nyaraka ofisini kwetu. Tuliangalia pia mabadiliko ambayo yalitokea ya kisiasa na ya kibiashara, na pia mabadiliko ya teknolojia ambayo yaliyotokea, na ndiyo yaliyotupelekea sisi kuangalia madhaifu ambayo tulikuwa tunayapitia. Ulikuwepo udhaifu wa nyaraka, ulikuwepo udhaifu ambao ulikuwa unapatikana, manual process ilikuwa ina impact. Kwanza inachukua muda mrefu sana katika kukamilisha vitu, lakini pia ilikuwa na madhaifu katika kutunza nyaraka nyingi sana. Wakati tukiomba kwamba ziletwe kwa Mamlaka ya Rufani ya Zabuni za Umma, tulikuwa tunagundua kwamba wakati mwingine zinakuwa hazipatikani. Lakini ambacho tulikuwa tunakiona ilikuwa ni kwamba hatuna uwazi, kwa sababu ilikuwa ni watu, ukishaleta nyaraka kwetu unasubiri sisi tuzifanyie kazi. Kwa hiyo haya ni mapungufu ambayo yaliyokuwemo katika mfumo wa awali ambao tumekuwa tukitumia tangu taasisi ilipoanza mpaka 2023 ambapo mabadiliko makubwa yalikuja. Kabla sijazungumza hayo mabadiliko, pale ofisini kwa mwaka huu wa fedha tunatarajia kuweka mitambo ya transcription and translation equipment. Sio kwamba ni kitu kigeni. Ukienda mahakama ya Tanzania sasa hivi utakuta kwamba hiki kifaa kipo. Transcription and translation equipment. Na lengo kubwa ni kwamba tumekuwa wakati mashauri yanaendelea, watu wangu wa secretariat team ndio wamekuwa wakichukua taarifa ya nini kinachoendelea. Lakini kwa sababu tuko katika teknolojia, ndio maana tumeona ni muhimu sana kuwa na vifaa ambavyo vinarahisisha sisi kufanya mashauri kwa kutumia njia ya kielektroniki au ya kidijitali. Lakini kitu kingine ambacho tumeshakifanya ambacho ni cha muhimu sana, kwa sasa hivi tuna video conference, mitambo ya video conference ambayo iko ofisini kwetu. Na tumekuwa tukifanya mashauri hata watu kutoka Uholanzi, Australia, na mara ya mwisho nadhani tumezungumza na watu kutoka India kwa kutumia vifaa hivyo. Kwa hiyo kuna mabadiliko ambayo tumeyafanya. Lakini tukija katika swali ambalo niko hapa kulizungumzia, complaints and appeals management module, moja, tulikuwa tunalenga kwamba tuhakikishe kwamba tunatawala vizuri au kuangalia vizuri kwamba malalamiko na rufaa zinazoletwa zinapata sehemu ambayo zinaweza zikawasilishwa kwa uwazi. Na lengo kubwa ilikuwa ni kwamba tuongeze ufanisi, tupunguze kazi ya makaratasi, kwa sababu wakati mwingine ukiwa pale ofisini utamuona mzabuni anakuja na lundo ya mafaili au makabrasha za zabuni. Lakini kwa sasa hilo si hivyo tena, kwa sababu linafanyika ndani ya moduli ya Appeals and Complaints Management Module. Lakini kingine ambacho tulichokuwa tunaona, tunauianisha kati ya malengo ya taasisi ya kuwa na uwazi, kuongeza uwajibikaji na kuhakikisha kwamba tunatoa maamuzi kwa wakati. Sasa nijaribu kwenda kitu ambacho ambacho tumekamilisha mpaka sasa. Mpaka sasa tunaona mashauri au malalamiko yote ambayo yanawasilishwa kwa taasisi nunuzi. Ina maana kinachoendelea katika taasisi nunuzi, sisi mamlaka ya rufani ya zabuni za umma tunafahamu mchakato mzima, tunafahamu nini ambacho kinachoendelea. Ambacho tumebakiza ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunaunga na mahakama ya Tanzania kuhakikisha kwamba tangu lalamiko linapoanza kwa taasisi nunuzi linaweza likaenda mpaka mahakama, kwa sababu kuna wakati ambapo tunaweza tukatoa maamuzi kama mamlaka ya rufani ya zabuni za umma, mzabuni akakataa akasema hayo sikubaliani na hayo maamuzi. Na ndio maana tunasema kwamba tunataka mifumo yetu au moduli ya kwetu isomane na mifumo ya mahakama, kusaidia kwamba process kama ni documentation zote, hakuna wakati wa kuzitoa manually na kuzipeleka, zote zitapatikana ndani ya mfumo wa NeST. Kwa maneno mengine ni kwamba tutakuwa tumerahisisha kazi. Labda niseme haya ni malengo makuu ambayo nadhani nimeshayazungumza. Nimeshaongelea hivi vitu vyote. Watumiaji wakubwa wa moduli hii ni taasisi nunuzi, wazabuni, Member of Appeals Board na Secretariat Team ndio watumiaji wakubwa. Kingine ambacho ninaweza nikasema, Hizi ni core feature ambazo zinaweza zikapatikana katika ndani ya moduli hii ambayo tunaizungumzia. Hizi zote ni huduma ambazo zinaweza zikapatikana ndani ya moduli ya Complaints and Appeals Management Module. Inasaidia nini? Workflow automation imefanyika, inasaidia notification itolewa kwa maafisa masuhuri, watu wa tehama, wanasheria, watu wa PMU, wote wanaweza wakapata notification kuhusiana na hiyo. Mwisho tunapata reporting. Lakini cha mwisho ambacho ni kizuri ni kwamba tuna dashboard ambayo inaweza ikasaidia watu kujua nini kinachoendelea. Unaweza ukajua ni muda uliotumika katika kuamua mashauri, unaweza ukajua case load ambazo zilizopo, unaweza ukajua kama watu wametii na kuheshimu sheria, na mwisho tunahakikisha kwamba tunatoa quality service. Lakini la mwisho ambalo ninapenda niliseme, unaweza ukajua takwimu ya rufaa na malalamiko ambayo yamewasilishwa. Nilipokuwa naandaa hii slide, kulikuwa na malalamiko administrative review kwa PE 559, na kulikuwa na mashauri ambayo yalikuwa yamefunguliwa mamlaka ya rufani ya zabuni za umma 156, kitu ambacho tulikuwa hatuwezi kuwa nacho kwa wakati. Cha mwisho ambacho kinachotokea ni kwamba tunapata, kwanza, maamuzi yanafanyika kwa haraka. Cha pili, tunaongeza uaminifu na kuongeza kwamba watu wanatuthamini na kuamini kile tunachofanya, lakini tunahakikisha kwamba watu wanatii. Kuna future enhancement ambacho ni kitu ambacho kinaweza kikatokea. Tunamalizia hatua ya mwisho ya kuhakikisha kwamba mifumo yetu inasomana na mahakama, kuhakikisha kwamba tangu mtu anapoanzisha lalamiko mpaka anapofika mahakama vinafanyika ndani ya moduli. Cha mwisho ni kwamba kuna room of improvement ambayo inaweza kufanyika. Niwakaribishe sana kwa mafunzo ambayo tutakayoanza kufanyika mwaka unaokuja, na mkisikia matangazo tafadhalini sana, karibuni wataalamu wa ugavi na ununuzi. Nawashukuru.
Asante sana mkurugenzi. Naomba pia nitumie fursa hii kwanza kuwajulisha mliopo juu AC inafanyiwa kazi. Kwa hiyo poleni, lakini wanafanyia kazi ili kuongeza uwezo wa kusupply huko juu. Na mnaotoka nje tunaomba msio mnafungua milango, AC pia inapotea, inachangia kuna kuwa na joto. Basi ni mkaribishe Bi Hadija Juma, dakika 5 za ujumbe wako kutoka FCC. Karibu. Huyu ni kaimu mkurugenzi mkuu kutoka FCC. Tumpigie makofi basi dada yangu Bi Hadija.
Habari za mchana Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Nashukuru sana. Ninashukuru kupata nafasi leo katika hadhara hii ambayo madhubuti imewekwa kwa lengo la kuweza kujifunza na kuelewa, japo mnatimiza lengo la taasisi yenu ya namna ambavyo mnapeana hii elimu ya kuweza kuboresha utendaji wenu wa kazi. Mimi kama nilivyokuwa introduced, naitwa Hadija Juma Ngasongwa. Kwenye taasisi ambayo ninaisimamia kwa sasa ya Tume ya Ushindani, inasimamiwa na makamishna 4 ambayo na mimi nikiwa mmoja wao, na mara nyingi tunaangalia mienendo mizima katika soko, hasa kuhakikisha kwamba kuna ushindani sahihi na sawia katika soko. Nimeambatana na katibu wa tume ambaye atatoa wasilisho kulingana na muktadha ambao tulikuwa tumepanga, namna ya integration between the supply, kwa maana ya the whole supply chain, and how the competition culture can enhance kupata the effective product, value for money na timely. Kwa hiyo tunafanya hiyo integration kuhakikisha kwamba tunaboresha huduma zetu, lakini tunaboresha zile mazao yanayotokana na hizo huduma ili kuongeza effective competition in the market. Kwa hiyo kwa muktadha huu atakuwa na slide chote ambayo inahusiana hasa na masuala ya bid rigging. Na sisi kwa tume yetu tunakaa kama kimahakama pia. It is a quasi judicial body ambayo tunachakata tunafanya investigation masuala ya makosa yanayotokana na ushindani, na baada ya kuyachakata tunatolea maamuzi, na tuna baraza la ushindani ambalo linaitwa Fair Competition Tribunal. Kwa muktadha huo naomba nimkaribishe ili aweze kufanya presentation fupi na kuweza kumaliza. Nashukuru sana na asanteni sana.
Jamani, habari za mchana. Nitakwenda quick kwenye masuala ya ushindani. Tume ya ushindani kama ilivyoelezwa mara ya kwanza ina lakini pamoja na hayo kazi zetu mainly ni kama zinavyoonekana pale. We are promoting and protecting effective competition kwenye soko, lakini vile vile tuna mandate ya kudili na counterfeit. Tutakwenda kwenye eneo exactly what we doing kwenye swala la kushajiisha ushindani. Mojawapo ya mambo ambayo tunafanya ni kudeal with measures. I'll go quick, sometimes nadhani is not in our favor. When we are dealing with measures, any company which intends to acquire another company or part of a business of which its turnover is 3.5 billion shillings, then it has to notify the FCC. Sisi tunaangalia soko. Kwa hiyo tukiangalia soko, yale makampuni yanayokuja kuingia tunategemea yasiharibu soko. Sisi tunafanya assessment na tunawaambia labda unaweza kuingia kwenye soko letu au unaweza usiingie. Kuna makampuni yanakuja Tanzania kwa mtindo wa kuja kuharibu soko, na products zetu tulizonazo wana mpango wa kuziua. Wataalamu wenzangu wale wanaofanya jioni, najua kuna bia inaitwa Serengeti na kuna bia inaitwa Safari na TBL and SBL. At some point mmoja alitaka kununua mwenzia muondoe sokoni. Mmoja alitaka kumnunua mwenzake, lakini as we speak today wote wapo na tunaona bei zake ni nzuri sana, na tukienda maeneo ya tukio yetu yale ya jioni tunaweza kupata kale ka kinywaji kwa bei elekezi kabisa. That is our kazi yetu ambayo tumeifanya. Lakini vile vile nadhani sisi tunadili na products nyingi sana. Ukiona maji mezani kwako, ukiona suti unayovaa, ukiona whatever ile TV tunayodili nayo, zote tunadili nazo na zinakuwa zina bei elekezi kwa sababu hiyo. So we are a silent player kwenye economy. Swala lingine ni notified measures. Sitaingia in deep because time sio nzuri sana. Abuse of dominance, lakini nita-emphasize kwenye swala la mwisho hapa, kwenye swala la anti-competitive agreements. Kwenye hili eneo kuna agreements za aina mbili. Agreement ya kwanza tunasema ni rule of thumb, pale ambapo tutaangalia tutaona washindani, maana yake inakuwa ni between washindani. Pale ambapo washindani wataingia kwenye mikataba ambayo inafifisha ushindani. Tukiuangalia ule mkataba kwa namna moja au nyingine, tunafikia maamuzi kwamba huu sio mkataba mzuri. Na kama unauona unakufaa ule mkataba, basi inatakiwa uje kwetu sisi tuweze kukupa exemption. Mfano mzuri tunaangalia KQ wameingia mkataba na Precision Air, wale ni washindani. Lakini ukija kuangalia ule mkataba unakuja kusaidia sana kwa sababu KQ kuna sehemu haifiki Mwanza, haifiki wapi. Kwa hiyo wameingia mkataba wa kufanya code sharing ili sasa yule anayekuja KQ akimshusha pale, basi Precision Air aweze kumtake over, ampeleke yule mtu pale Mwanza, ampeleke Bukoba, ampeleke wapi. So akija kwetu wanaomba exemption, tunawaambia ingawa nyewe ni washindani, basi tunawapa mkataba muendelee as much as you are competitors. Lakini kuna hii party ya pili ambayo ni wanasema ni passe. Hii inakatazwa kabisa. Yaani there is no rule of thumb. Sisi hatuna pepesi kujua kwamba hii ndio au sio. Hapana, hiyo inakatazwa on the outright. Ya kwanza ni price fixing. The competitors should not sit or should not agree that we fix the price, that this should be the price of a certain product or service. If at all they sit or they communicate to fix a price of a certain product or service, that agreement is anti-competitive. Na sisi adhabu zetu ni 5 to 10% of your annual turnover. Kwa hiyo aliye mdogo atapigwa kwa udogo wake, aliye mkubwa atapigwa kwa ukubwa wake. So kwenye haya kwenye mikataba hii kuna swala la price fixing, kuna swala la collective boycott, kuna swala la output restriction. Yote haya ni yanakatazwa, lakini kwa context ya kwetu leo hii nitakuwa nimebezi zaidi kwenye ile collusive bidding, ambayo ndio eneo ambalo nadhani wataalamu nyie mpo sana, na wanasema sehemu kubwa ambayo tunapigwa ni serikali. We have been going around to see our counterparts. Okay. We have gone around to see our counterparts in Russia, in South Africa and Egypt. All of them wanasema emphasis ni kwenye kudeal na government procurement, kwa sababu pale ndio tunapigwa. How does it happen? Kama competitors wawili wakianza kuzungumza kuhusiana na swala la kwamba twende tupeleke tenda fulani, wewe weka 200, mimi niweke 250, this time you get it, and then next time mimi ndio nitakuwa chini kidogo ili niweze kupata, then pale inakuwa wameenda ni anti-competitive agreement. Lakini siku hizi hawa watu wameadvance sana. They are not, you cannot see them around kwamba wanakutana, wanasema, wanaongea. First they start communicating using the phones or the digital devices, lakini sasa hivi wameenda mpaka kwenye algorithm. It's a vast area of which if next time we get time we can go through, lakini at the end of the day sasa hivi imefikia hatua mpaka kampuni zinaweza zikabidi kampuni 7. Kumbe if you lift corporate veil, ile kampuni ni ya mtu mmoja au watu wawili wako ndani yake. Kwa hiyo kwa maana hiyo ni kwamba ile kampuni matches on the outside it seems like a different person, but inside, in the inside it is one and the same person, but you cannot detect it unless tunaweka vizuri na brela pale na machinery nyingine. To be honest, napenda niseme ndugu yetu mkuu pale wa brela tunafanya naye kazi kwa ukaribu sana na tunaweza kugundua hivi vitu. Mwishoni kabisa nikifunga, ninaomba niseme kwamba counterfeit tusinunue, kwa sababu wanasema kutokea madawa ya kulevya, the next trade now in the world ambayo ni haram ni counterfeits. Kwa hiyo kwa sababu sisi tuna deal na counterfeit, once there is the original there is a counterfeit. Kwa kuna counterfeit maana yake ni kwamba unapata hasara, badala ya kutumia kitu miaka 3 umetumia nusu wiki moja kimeenda. So hasara inakuwa kwako. You have to buy again and again and again. Lakini vile vile unamuoffend yule ambaye ana original product. Kama mtu amekuja amehangaika, we have seen our brothers here, they come with a brand Jaga, and then next time somebody is coming with Jiga or something, then deprive their right of innovation and everything. So we are here, na naomba kutokana na time nisemea asante. Nashukuru.
Asante, tunaingia kwenye session. Nikukaribisha Amos Kazinza. Lakini wakati huo nina tangazo, kuna mtu misplace simu yake. Kwa hiyo tukienda break kwa ajili ya lunch tuonane. Lakini pia utaniambia ina cover gani, ikoje. Tunaweza mkaja wengi. Amos, karibu.
Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Naitwa Amos Kazinza, mkurugenzi wa huduma za wanachama na ushauri wa kitaalamu kutoka Bodi ya Wataalamu wa Ununuzi na Ugavi PSPTB. Tunaenda sasa kuanza professional papers, ambapo kabla ya kwenda kwenye discussion ya paper za leo, naomba nitumie fursa hii kumkaribisha mkurugenzi mtendaji wa PSPTB kwa ajili ya kutupa performance ya bodi toka tulipokutana mwezi wa 12 mwaka jana tunahitaji kupata nini tumefanya kwa hiyo muda kuanzia mwezi wa 12 mwaka jana, mafanikio yaliyopo na mambo mengine yanayohusiana na taaluma. Mkurugenzi mtendaji, karibu sana.
Nadhani in summary tunapenda tuwapitishe kwenye vitu ambavyo tumefanya tangu tulipoachana Desemba, ikiwa ni pamoja na kuwaelezea resolutions za conference iliyopita, kuonyesha utekelezaji wake na progress kwa zile ambazo bado hazijatekelezwa. Mnanifahamu? Mpaka sasa hivi saa 7:15, kama hakuna mkeka uliotoka, mimi ndio mkurugenzi mtendaji wa PSPTB. Kazi na utu. Unaweza kujimwambafai kwamba kumbe hapa watu wanaupa kuniambia kuna mkeka umeshatoka. Na ni vizuri sana kwa mnachungulia mikeka, hasa wateule hao kina Nyaisi. Kwa hiyo nitawapitisha tu mambo machache. I will try to go through the introduction of the board in a nutshell. Thereafter, I will explain what we have achieved so far, what we have not, and the progress we have made. I will also touch a little bit on challenges and how we are planning to mitigate the challenges. And thereafter, I will conclude and quit the platform. PSPTB, as it is known, this is your board. We are established by the Parliamentary Act number 23 of year 2007. We have 4 core functions, one being professional regulator, the other one professional advisor, provider of certifications professionally, as well as professional discipline and ethics oversight organ for procurement professionals in the country. We operate under the governing board ya wakurugenzi, under the governing board, currently chaired by PSP Jacobo Kibona, and under the board, I am there, executive is there, the executive director is there, not necessarily me. Also, we have management, which includes heads of departments, units, and the other sections. And retired. He's not retired. We are very sorry. He's not retired. That is the members of our. We wanted to write retired civil servant, not retired chairperson. Those are the members we have. And the number 5 is no longer Dr. Alban Mchopa. He is Professor CPSA Alban Mchopa. He's a newly crowned young professor within the profession. Si ndio jamani? Professor kijana kabisa katika fani. Nadhani hata 40 hajafika huyo. And currently I'm the secretary of the board according to the law. What we are doing, what the board does, they set policies and they ensure governance. So the daily operations of the board, including supervision of the executive director, the management, and the entire staff, lie under the supervision of the board of directors. So I report to the board, and the board reports to the ministry and the TR. The board also assures there is enhancement of statutory compliance. That means it is the role of the board to ensure that we operate in accordance to the law that establishes the board. Also, they ensure that we do prepare and submit the mandatory monthly reports to relevant authorities, including the ministry, treasury registrar, and the others. It is the role of the board to ensure that management prepares and submits the required reports. They approve budgets in accordance to the law, also and other policies. For example, the curriculum, certification curriculum, training curriculum, registration requirements, CPD policies. They are all approved by the board of directors. Also, they oversee the risks and the financial management, vile viashiria vya hatari na usimamizi wa rasilimali fedha, to ensure that we use public finances in accordance to the set laws and regulations, so as to avoid unnecessary audit queries and the like. Success stories, what we have done so far this year, in a very nutshell. There is a report in a Word format. It is well elaborated, so you will just look at it. We took disciplinary. That is not good at all, but when a need arises, we take disciplinary actions. So far we have taken disciplinary measures to 10 practitioners from 4 PEs, but currently we have also some who were summoned by the disciplinary committee of the board, and they were made their submissions, and I think that we are at the final stages, administrative stages of issuing the verdict of those proceedings. So maybe after 2 to 3 weeks they will know their fate after their recent submission to the disciplinary committee. Also, we registered 3,533 professionals. We conducted the procurement and the supplies auditors training, and also certification to 74 participants of procurement and supplies audit. We conducted the compliance inspections to 339 procuring entities within the country in both sectors, private and the public. We enrolled 4,565 candidates for examinations, and we conducted one graduation where 499 graduates were were awarded different professional awards, including CPSP, graduate level, and professional diplomas. We reviewed 8 procurement supplies curricula for Kampala International University, Maluko, that is Mariana University College, Sauti Mwanza, Moku, and Mwekau. Mwekau, that is Mwenge Catholic, I think, University. So as it is known, and actually that is how it is, according to TCU guidelines, whenever you develop a procurement and supply curriculum, it cannot be approved unless that curriculum is endorsed by the relevant board, professional board that oversees a certain profession. So whenever universities and the other higher learning institutions develop such curricula, they submit them to the board. We have a very good and capable directorate under the directorship of CPSP Amani Ngonyani. They have a section which is concerning with curriculum development and review. That section is headed by Haule Jeremiah. They go through the curriculum, they put their recommendations and return back to the institutions. They take on board the recommended improvements, and thereafter they bring it back for us to see whether they have taken on board what we had suggested. If we find so, we write a covering letter to TCU to certify that we have gone through that curricula, and we as the board certify that it meets the required professional standards as far as our curriculum guidelines are concerned. That is what we do. Also, we have been very good users of online platforms, social platforms, e-systems, etc., so as to ease the services we offer to our clients and customers. This has enabled our customers to obtain easily our services from wherever they are. Whether you are within the city, country, or wherever, you can access the board's services through e-systems. And actually, we have seen improvement, and also we get feedback easily from our customers, our fellows, stakeholders, etc., etc. And actually, currently, we are also revamping our online registration system to make it more modern for easy service provision. We conducted also CPD programs to 1,103 professionals and the other stakeholders, and also 5 tailor-made programs. Tailor-made, these are trainings which we offer to various institutions after they submit a request or they show demand from the board. So we conducted 5, and also we encourage some of you, also others, if you feel that your team, management, tender boards, your PMUs or whatever, they need assistance in the trainings, we can come just on site at your workplace, train you, and get what you want to get from the board. Also, we have improved our stakeholders engagement. As you know, of course, some of you, I know, you have both CPSP certificates as well as IFPSM certificates because of the engagement and collaborations we have with the international purchasing and supply management from Helsinki, Finland. But of recent, we have also established some linkages and engagements with the Zambia Institute of Purchasing and Supply. And last month, I was in Livingstone, Zambia, to attend one of their forums to see how they do things and they have promised to come to Tanzania to learn more how we do certifications and how we conduct our professional exams. We have challenges, budgetary constraints, and sustainability of programs. Some programs fail to be sustainable due to various reasons, and this comes from finances, but also turn up from our stakeholders or our opinion for improvement, and the improvement goes further, can delay and make the programs delay a bit. But we are working on all these to ensure that things go smoothly. Professional misconduct issues, as my colleague has just put it, James, it is a disaster. A disaster. I saw that. I saw somewhere a certain. It was like more like emoji. You people, young people, Gen Z, you know these emojis and the like. They had they wrote that in a person you have to look skills, energy, and integrity. But if a person lacks that one, the last one, don't even consider the first two. Hivi tumeelewana? Katika mtu unayetaka kumwajiri, unayetaka muwe naye katika kazi, uangalie ujuzi wake na ile nguvu yake, yani ule utayari wa kufanya ile kazi, lakini cha mwisho uaminifu na maadili yake. Sasa inasema kama hana hilo la mwisho nilolitaja, usifikirie hata vyeti vyake juu yuko tayari, forget about it. So you can see how integrity is very important to whatever we do. And actually, for you people, most of you, for accounting officers, they know these the accounting officers, the CEOs, like my friend. I'm not sure anyway if he's my friend, Nyaisa. I'm not sure. Yeah. And the right, Simba, dead there, from Misegi, they know. The last forums where whenever we are summoned to explain how things were done, we feel ashamed even ourselves. On the way, sometimes our people, the people we trust, let us down. And for us, for example, who are in management and leadership, for sure, we cannot do anything if we have bad subordinates. We rely on the performance of our subordinates to make us shine. To make us shine. So there is no way procurement, regardless of the support we are currently getting from the government, regardless of the vision Her Excellency the President has on this profession, if we don't change on this aspect, we cannot make it through. We will, all of us, fall down. So it is a call to all of us to change in attitude. For example, those who were given some trophies, those HPMUs, it is written in the ethical code of procurement professionals that it is a professional duty for any in charge of a department in procurement to ensure that his or her subordinates fulfill all professional requirements. It is written. Kwa hiyo, it is our duty and our role to ensure that things change and we go the right way. At least to continue winning the trust we are getting nowadays. For those senior citizens, they know how this profession came through. The difficulties people had to accept us. But currently we are being accepted. So it is our duty to make them believe and understand that they have trusted the right people. If we do the opposite, we will be letting ourselves down. Hey, it is not this way. Something somewhere is wrong. Na katika maeneo ambayo ukitaka watu wasipige makofi, wewe elezea tu swala la maadili. Hebu ngoja tutaje kwamba financial year ijayo na Mungu akijalia inshallah CPSP itatambulika kwenye skeli za mishahara. Unaona sasa? You see, when it comes to remunerations, people clap hands. But when we say we have to change attitude, be ethical, to make things move, watu wanapata siamini. Thank you. Failure to update information. Kuna wengine, some professionals do not update their information on the online registration systems. So it is not even easy to get updated information from the board. They cannot apply such trainings opportunities from the board because their accounts are dormant. Their accounts are dormant. Sure, professionals attending CPD programs, very few of them. Now, kijana sio mzee, ila ni mzee kwa cheo. Dead wamesema. Bana, yani nyie ndo kabisa huwa mruhusu watu. Na sasa hii inabadilisha na lugha ni kuseme. Inapotokea training ya kada zingine unapitisha. Sio wewe. Wanapitisha sio wewe. Maana wewe mpaka umekuja, you are ours. You are one of us. Lakini zikija kada za procurement, budget haitoshi. Yaani hiyo budget haitoshi kwa watu wetu tu. Is that true? Kwa hiyo tunatamani gathering kama hizi zote zinaonekana kwenye SPD programs, a forum like this one, we should come and feel as one family. It makes us strong, rather than feeling like isolated and inferior. We are not inferior. We handle almost the entire budget of this country. So we must be given that value actually that we have. Sijui niongee kia mtanielewa. Some HPMUs are undertaking procurement functions without having the required professional qualifications. Jamani. Now, you find a person, he has been given, jamani, I wish I could change even the language. Imagine you have been trusted by management and the other authorities within the institution to give you an opportunity to act as HPMU. And you know yourself that you don't have CPSP. You know you are not registered under authorized category as required by the standards. If you are given that opportunity, though not illegal, what should you do tomorrow morning? In law, faster. Tena unaweza kuomba hata kufanya mtihani ya peke yako. Hivi nyewe watu vipi? Mbona mjui kuchukua opportunities? I usually talk with the management and my staff and giving them a vivid and valid example of my own brother. He was a teacher with a diploma in education. So some years back, when many secondary schools were established in the country, they were looking for some teachers to go and act as headmasters of those newly established secondary schools. And he was lucky to capture one of those opportunities. I tell you, the following month, he enrolled for a bachelor in education from the Open University of Tanzania. And currently, he has masters in education management. Can you remove him from that position? He's already qualified and already confirmed. That's you go to a certain institution, you find a person acting as a HPMU for 3 years. He has no CPSP, He has no authorized registration category. He has no speedy hours. He or she is there. And when we write reports to the accounting officers, telling them the findings, the outcome of our visit, they make it personal, calling my subordinates. Amos, kwa nini ulikuja ukamwambia hivi? Sasa utaka Amos afanyeje? They are using WhatsApp calls. Why did you say this one? Now you know they have transferred me from this position. You did not know how variable the position was. Hivi tuko pamoja? Please, the requirements of your positions are well set and elaborated. Strive to get those qualifications. They are attainable. They are obtainable. They are there. What you will do next is to intimidate your subordinates who will be joining the institution with relevant qualifications. Utaanza kuwatocha. Kuna mmoja alikuwa anawaambia eti PSP ndio kitu gani, mimi ndio head. Sasa tulipomtembelea bodi anaanza kuwasema wale wasaidizi wake. Sasa wewe ndugu yangu, utakuwaje HPM hiyo huna PSP? Kwa nchi ipi? Okay, we have also unqualified practitioners undertaking procurement supply activities. This one, my brother Simba, I think, I also received your letter. We will have a meeting after January, first week of January. My team will again sit to continue, see how we can advise the government. Kwa sababu ile lower procurement, ule ni uvunjifu wa sheria kabisa. Ni uvunjifu wa sheria, lakini umeanzishwa na serikali. Na kuna imani, there is a certain belief attached to that decision. Now it is our duty now, professionally, to sit and advise them professionally. Hivi tuko pamoja? Ukienda kichwa Simba, mkeka unakuhusu. Na mimi nikienda kichwa mkeka, so tutakaa na tunaendelea kukaa, tutaziandikia mamlaka how we can go about it. Na if we need be, kama tuna afisa maendeleo wa kata, afisa maendeleo ya jamii wa kata, hivi kwenda tuwezi kuwa na afisa manunuzi wa kata? Na tukawa create employment kwa watu wetu. So there are alternatives. There are alternatives we are trying to study and advise the government, and the doors of the government are always open to listen professional advice. So tutalifinalize hili kwa sababu linaleta ukakasi kweli wa kisheria, lakini pia wa kitaaluma. We are also planning to mitigate these challenges by exploring alternative funding models. We are writing write-ups to different people with the money, with these donors. Also, we are discussing with the government how to give us some funds. Actually, they did last financial year, so probably will be successful. We continue conducting compliance inspection and building capacity for our practitioners. We allocate personnel in the procurement supply cadre. There are, due to in our reports, compliance reports, we find one district council or municipal council having 18 procurement professionals, and 5 of them having PSP and registered under authorized category. While there is another council, district council, with only 1 procurement officer, and that officer has no relevant qualification to be head of it. But the other one, 18 personnel. So, tusiwadanganye. We don't write names, but we indicate to the authorities procuring entities with excessive number of procurement professionals. And those which do not have enough number of procurement professionals. So we have written to the authorities So if you get a letter ya bwana, it is serikali ya kwetu jamani, na nchi ni ya kwetu. Unatoka hapa, unaenda Kakongo, unatuhudumia. And I would be proud to meet you there. By the way, natoka Kakongo, maybe you don't know. Yeah, that is my place. We allocate HPMUs to ensure that procurement supply activities are managed by heads with relevant qualification. For example, one municipal council in one of the cities, it has 4 people with CPSP, with the required number of SPD hours, and all of them registered under authorized category. We can't have an army with all generals. Sindio? Hey, we must have a general, major, colonels, sivijui, nisije nikachanganya. Lakini lazima tuombe kuwa reallocate ili waweze kusaidia sehemu zingine. Sehemu zingine ziko incapacitated kabisa, hazina watu. Unamkuta sasa akiwa ni mama ndio wesi, kila wakati analia tu. Analia na madiwani, analia na mkurugenzi. Mkurugenzi anatamani, pesa imekuja, anatamani kuimplement miradi, lakini that person hana capacity ya kutengeneza tenda zote aweze kuzichakata kwa wakati. Financial year inaisha, pesa yote inarudi. Si ndio? Ni hasara kwa halmashauri, ni hasara kwa taasisi. So we are advising the government to do that. Also, we are revamping our ORS, as I said, to make it more modern and easy to serve our people. And also we are increasing engagement to our stakeholders. And also we have seen other stakeholders. We will also extend our collaborations. Resolutions. These are the resolutions of last year's annual conference. One was PSTB and the Minister of Finance to continue closely monitoring the implementation of last year's. We have done that. Also, professionals were directed to uphold professional ethical. I think I cannot explain more than I have done. Nothing, my dear. Regardless of so many certificates, if you are not ethical, my dear, you are nothing. You are nothing, but because you cannot be trusted anywhere. Kwa hiyo, I cannot even explain more. You understand the meaning and the importance of being ethical. Mkurugenzi yule pale na accounting officer au Nyaisa yuko pale, Simba yuko pale. Asubuhi saa 2 anaingia ofisini, anapiga simu. Naomba Kazinza uje. Kazinza ndio HPMU wako. Unaanza kutetemeka. Why is he calling me this morning, early morning? Maybe he has disclosed this and that. Hivi mnaelewa? Kuna mtu kimwita ofisini kwako anaanza kuogopa, maybe amekijua boss, amekijua. Kumbe anakuita tu akuulize professional advice. Kwa sababu mtu raishi hauko ethical. Yani utovu wa maadili unakosesha amani. You can't walk majestically kwenye fan. Unaogopa. We also you remember those words, chuki na husuda. Wivu, chuki na husuda. From our former deputy minister, Honorable Chande. Mnakumbuka? Sikumbuki vizuri na maana zake, lakini nakumbuka moja ambayo ilikuwa it was said, a person feeling or struggling to make you not obtain certain things, even after you failing to obtain it, he or herself will not get it. Hivi tunaelewana? Yani mtu yuko radhi, anapambana. Anapambana. Fulani asiwe fulani. Anajua kabisa hata fulani asipokuwa fulani, hiyo nafasi yeye hawezi. What's for? Unakuwa kama mnyama fulani, nasikia yeye anaua tu mnyama lakini hawezi kumula. Sikumbuki ni mnyama gani. So husuda. Na husuda, kuna moja jana HPM mmoja tulikuwa tunaongea naye. nilishampa shule. Make a working environment very convenient. An environment that makes you be proud of being there or be happy to wake up in the morning and go to work. Sasa unakuta mtu na HPMU wale wasaidizi wake wote yani wanamuogopa kama simba. Haya. PSPTB to improve its efforts to register professionals. Now we have intensified registration mode. How we used to register previously and how we do it nowadays. Nowadays, you people, because people were delaying to obtain these certificates, while actually they are needed by some different authorities. When they ask it, the board has not said, the board has not processed it, the board has not approved it, so forth and so forth. Nowadays, we register professionals on a monthly basis. On monthly basis. It was an idea from you people. That's why I always encourage you people to bring us constructive ideas so that we can improve the services we offer to you. Nowadays, on a monthly basis, Amos and his team, they retrieve all applications which have met all the requirements. We prepare the papers, we submit it to the boards through circular, they approve, and whenever we sit for meetings in quarterly basis, they just ratify it for certificates, etc., etc. So on a monthly basis, we have a bunch of registered professionals. So it is no longer an issue. Another resolution was conduct an independent assessment on user stakeholder satisfaction. This will be done because regardless of whatever we are doing, sometimes we meet people, they say, now I see things have improved or whatever, but actually we are not yet there. We wish to improve our services as much as we can. So we have planned to get the perception from the people we serve. We will make a survey in this financial year. We have set aside some certain amount of money in the budget, and we will engage a person to take up to conduct such assessment and bring the report at the gathering like this one. Construction, actually, we have the permit, but even last week, our Director of Finance, Mr. Mfungo, and our Head of Procurement Management Unit, SPSP Inco, he's outside. They had a meeting with the planning division of the Ministry of Finance to see how they can set aside the funds so as we can start construction. So it is on track. Okay, it is okay. Certified procurement and supplies auditors should be used in caring. Okay, it has been implemented, and graduates of SPSP will continue to be involved in supply and audit both in private and sector. Actually, we have communicated with all organs, authorities which do audits, including PPRA, CAG, and the others, and Internal Auditor General. Whenever they do these audits, they can incorporate our people or the certified procurement supplies auditors in those teams so as to ease the auditing process. Sometimes you get a team, the auditing team, that starts by learning first how things are done. It doesn't know even how a tender is initiated. It doesn't know even how evaluation teams are formed. It doesn't know anything. So the first day is to be trained how you will be audited. Imagine training a person on how he will audit you tomorrow. So this will no longer be a case because our teams will incorporate competent and certified people from the board. PSPTB to provide an updated database. Of course, this is nowadays no longer an issue because within the ORIS, whenever people are registered, the database updates itself automatically. So you can use your number to find the status of your registration. Papers should focus on practical experience. I think we are trying. We are trying to shift from more theoretical versions to more practical versions. And even the paper, you will see they have that direction. Okay, conclusion. We will strive for excellence. We usually strive to improve our services. The services, the excellences of our procurement, the excellences of our people, the people who can be trusted, the people who can save this country, the people who can save the nation and the entire region. Some years back, I think 2 or 3 years, we were in Kigali. In Kigali, they have a policy. I don't know whether it is a law or they say zero tolerance to corruption. Is that right? Yes, I got it right. Ni kifungu cha sheria, zero tolerance to corruption. Na kwenye sheria, if I do remember, within your law, Public Procurement Act Rwanda, there is also a section on penalties to the accounting officers whenever things or whenever procurement issues are not done properly. Is that right? Yeah. Sasa kichekesho ilikuwa ni kwamba one CEO told us actually almost 90% of the accounting officers have been penalized once or twice because of that section. Due to what? The subordinates. We invite constructive criticism. Mimi ni muumini. Yani mimi ni believer. I'm a believer of being criticized constructively. Bring the ideas. That was my slogan from day one. I was appointed to be the executive director. Even before, I was in the acting capacity. Because there's no need for me to stretch out my brain to make things happen while I have this, the entire group is mine. These are all brains. People who can think. People who have analytical capabilities. And they are mine, actually. I am the one who registered them. So they have to make my life easy. And that's why we keep improving daily. It is because of people who dare writing us what they wish, what they feel, what direction they feel the body should go. We get such ideas, we table them to the management. If we find them relevant, we write the covering, the detailed papers, taking on board of those ideas, we submit to the board of directors. If they find it more relevant and whatever, they approve it, we put it in implementation. That is a move. Bring us ideas. Lakini kulalamika, this and this here, bring. What should we do? What should we do? Bring the ideas, we will work together to make things move in the right direction. Professionals should be ready to nurture young and upcoming professionals. HPMUs, create a room. And actually that is the direction of the government. Wale professionals wapya wadogo wanapotoka vyuoni, kabla hawajapata ajira, take them. Take 2 or 3 if you have a good space. Take 2 or 3. Put them under internship program. Put them under internship program. To learn practically how things are done, so that they can embed the theories they obtained from classes and the actual practice which is done in the field. Msiwakimbie. Mimi tangu nilipokuwa Dar es Salaam hatujamia Dodoma, hapa tukisema tusimamishe watu ambao tuliwachukua under internship na walivyoenda interview wakafaulu, sasa hivi ni maafisa, wengine nakutana wameshanizidi hata unene, they were there to the board just fresh from universities. Tunawaelekeza hii inakuwa hivi, evaluation inafanyika hivi, submission kwenye board inakuwa hivi. They are here. So please nurture them. Now if you get the young and newly employed young professionals, please nurture them. How to do procurement efficiently and with integrity. Kuna sehemu moja niliwahi kusema kwamba wewe kama ni mkuu wa kitengo cha manunuzi, una wasaidizi wako na kusaidia. If you teach them, if you have subordinates, young subordinates, they are new entrants to the public service or private service, instead of nurturing them and grooming them to be good employees to the company and the institutions, instead you are showing them how to be corrupt, showing them that is how we live. If you want to buy a car tomorrow, this is how you should do. My dear, kuna sehemu niliongea maneno mabaya. I told them, Mwenyezi Mungu, yani if you are of that mentality, kwani kutamuka inanilallahi la juni ni ngumu? Bwana alitoa Bwana ametoa na jina lake libarikiwe. Because you are the senior, you are a manager, but instead of grooming the people who will serve this nation tomorrow, you are making them to be corrupt, to continue, even after your departure, to leave a chain of corrupt people. What for? Why? Sasa Mungu, tatizo la Mungu is not coming from Kigoma, by the way. Otherwise, we could have a regional meeting to advise how to do it. As a head, the first thing you do, you should teach them how to operate professional and ethical. That is should be your number one duty to the juniors. So that even after your retirement, you leave an ethical team, working a team that can serve this country diligently. Hiyo ndio roho yako ya kwanza. Be whistleblowers. Ukiona kitu hakiendi vizuri, she does not understand that I can extend this conference up to Tuesday. Be a whistleblower. Whenever you see things going the other way, if you see corrupt behavior, be a whistleblower. We once obtained one whistleblower, well detailed, with evidence. No, actually two. One from a local government, another one from a parastatal. Well detailed with evidence. Even whenever you take action, there is no way. It is not a guesswork. It is not a rumor. With evidence to clean up procurement profession. This would assist us to obtain the required standards, and I wish to submit. Thank you very much. By the way, it is as if I see Madam Umuro far away. Is she the one? Oh! Welcome, Madam. Mama, karibu sana. Yaani hata kama na usingizi nitaamka nasikiliza. Yeah. This mama is a very good facilitator on some issues. Sitaki kumpreempt. Ila don't plan to miss that presentation. Utanishukuru baadaye. Thank you very much.
Makofi mengi kwa mkurugenzi mtendaji wa PSPPD, Bwana Godfrey Mbani. Asante sana mkuu. Sasa kwa sababu ya muda, nimeambiwa chakula kitakuwa tayari saa 8:20. Kwa ninaomba baada ya kuanza discussion ya hizi papers, naomba mniruhusu nikaribishe wadau wawili watatu, then baada ya hapo tutaenda lunch. Tukitoka lunch tutakuwa na discussion kidogo, alafu tutamkaribisha Mama Zuhura Muro kwa ajili ya pepa inayofuata. Kwa mjibu wa ratiba, now allow me to welcome delegates from Rwanda who will present concerning about lesson learned from Rwanda as far as the supply chain is concerned. Then we'll also have one presenter from South Africa who will also share with us the lesson learned from South Africa as far as the supply chain is concerned. Jamani, makofi mengi kwa mtaalamu kutoka Rwanda. Atajitambulisha na atatuambia anatokea wapi, lakini baada ya hapo tutamsikiliza. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Here the chief guest in his absentia, the chairperson of PSPTB, sponsors, fellow distinguished professionals, all protocol observed. It is a honor to address the esteemed conference at the time when procurement and supply has evolved from support function into a strategic enabler of national development, resilience, and competition and competitiveness. By names of Kihumuro Grace Patrick. I'm the qualifications manager at the Institute of Procurement Professionals, Rwanda. And let me request the delegation from Rwanda to stand up for recognition. We have 4 members here, the 3 members here. We have a representative of the Governing Council, Madame Odette. The Governing Council, Mr. Chair, is equivalent of the Board of Directors. Then we do have a representative of the Registration and Professional Development, the chairperson. We also have a member from the Secretariat, the membership manager, Mr. Emir. I wish to speak on behalf of IPPR, our professional body in Rwanda, to share the Rwanda's experience in building a regulated, a future-ready procurement profession anchored on leadership, innovation, and strong institutions. This is more linked to the theme of today. Let me open my experience sharing with a quote. Strong supply chain are built on strong institutions, and strong institutions are sustained by competent, ethical, and regulated professionals across the world. Why professionalism matters? That's a question maybe to start with. Across Africa, procurement and supply chain managers are substantial share of public and private expenditure, as earlier shared by the guest of honor and other speakers previously. Yet for many years, the function remained about compliance, under-recognized, and under-regulated. Rwanda recognizes the future of supply chain and procurement as one that requires professionals, not just practitioners. That's our bit of focus. And professionals who integrate technical competences, as mentioned by our CEO, the ethical leadership, the innovation-driven decision-making, and this realization informed the deliberate policy shift from that elevated our procurement body into a regulated and strategic profession. Let me talk about the genesis of our professional body. Rwanda's journey began with establishment of what we called Association of Procurement Professionals in way back 2016. And later, this was established to serve as a forum where professionals are brought together. Number 2, it was a bit of having a contribution to promote professionalism in a voluntary basis, and also supporting basic continuous professional development. This is not equivalent of the mandate we have at our professional body here. So, however, as the procurement profession grew, procurement became increasingly complex, driven by regulatory reforms. Looking back at our procurement journey, way back from 2007, when we established the Public Procurement Authority, the donor-funded projects also coming in, the higher accountability coming in, all that drove us from being an association to formation of an institute that is fully-fledged. So the key question that came into play was, how do we move from networking an association to a regulation, or from advocacy to enforceable standards, and from participation to professional certifications? That's the question that we tried to answer. The answer is about the law that was enacted recently, that is 2025, in July this year, the law governing IPPR, the law establishing or governing the Institute of Procurement Professionals. So the government of Rwanda reconstituted the law of APPR of 2016 into a statutory professional body named as Institute of Procurement Professionals in Rwanda. So this reform is elevated the procurement body from association-based initiative to a free regulated profession with a clear mandates, powers, mission, and accountability mechanisms. Let's talk about IPPR today, the institute we have today. The institute currently maintains a professional register of over 400 members, who a majority are public procurement practitioners, with a few private sector players. This is a half of the target. If we wanted to look at the national coverage, we would be talking about 800, 1,000 practitioners, considering our population and our practitioners' population. The future to expand the membership and certification should be drawn from public sector institutions, private sector entities, state-owned enterprises, development projects, independent procurement practitioners and professionals. All that are our future targets. When you look at Article number 4 of the new law establishing the Institute, the mission of the Institute is to sustainably develop and regulate the procurement profession and strengthen the capacity of procurement professionals. That is our bigger mandate. To operationalize the mission, Article 5 gives the core responsibilities of the Institute. These include developing the professional curricula for procurement professionalism, registering and regulating practitioners, issuing and revoking licenses for independent professionals, advocating for membership and safeguarding professional interests, conducting procurement research, and ensuring Rwanda's membership in International Federation for Purchasing and Supply Management is achieved. Article 6 further grants the IPPR powers to award professional certification, and in the future our procurement certification is going to be CPP. CPP means Certified Procurement Profession. So CPP brackets R, meaning Rwanda, equivalent of our CPSP T. Number 2 is accrediting the training and examination centers. Number 3 is correcting membership contributions, as usual. The professional body does that. And then providing professional advice on procurement-related matters, as well as the CPDs. How is our governance structured compared to the one that we have just seen from our sister organization here. A clear separation between training, assessment, and certification has been strengthened to win credibility and public trust. We are having 4 organs that make up our governance structure. One is the General Assembly, which is the supreme organ. Then 2, the governing council. 3 is the committees in charge of registration and professional development. We also have the disciplinary committee, and we also have the internal audit. But the last one is the executive secretariat. The institute governance structure includes the unique part of our institute governance structure, includes the ex-officials in different organs. More importantly, the governing council, which is drawn from institutions such as RPPA, the regulatory body of the public procurement, the Rwanda Bar Association, the Private Sector Federation, and representatives from higher learning institutions in Rwanda. So those are few members that we co-opt in our governance, in our governing body, or the board of directors. So the certification of our members, the institute certification training leading to the designation of CPP, or the Certified Procurement Professional, is our highest award that we can give. And then a procurement professional certification framework has been established, demarcating the key competences and other key demarcations like levels we have at the certification training, all that are stipulated in our framework. Then number 2, the procurement professional certification curriculum is at the advanced stage of finalization. We are now at the level of validation, internal and external. And then I'll talk about other policies that we have put in place, the rules of procedures, the code of conduct, among others. So we have a bit of connected partnerships that we have already achieved. We've achieved partnerships with key partners like Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Local Government, Rwanda Public Procurement, Private Sector Federation. And going forward, in the long run, we are looking at ourselves connected to other professional bodies like PSPTB. We are looking at ourselves having a connection with mutual recognition agreements with SIPs, and also being recognized by IFPSM and other organizations that have similar mission. What are the key challenges as a younger professional body? We are faced by a few challenges, if I may mention a few because of time. There is one of the skills practice gap, where academic qualifications do not always translate into applied competencies. We appreciate that Tanzania has achieved getting a requirement that curriculums to be accredited, there should be recognized by the body. We look forward to that. And we are looking at that mismatch in competences and skills as one of the challenges we have at home, where you find lawyers working, engineers also part of the system, doing the work of the professional procurement. The number 2 is the perception challenges, where procurement still is viewed as some contexts as an administrative function, where it is all about compliance with the procurement processes, other than being strategic. Lastly, maybe the global alignment that we have not yet achieved, but we are looking at balancing international standards with national realities, and that has been mitigated when we are drafting our framework, our certification framework. What could be the strategic solutions and mitigation strategies we have? The competency-based certification. I've heard about Tanzania embarking on that, making more of looking at competency-based certification. It's one of those that we are also aiming at. Number 2 is the strong governance and quality assurance system that is anchored on training, CPDs, and continuous assessment. Stakeholder alignment, we talked about the key strategic partnerships we have already achieved and a few others that we are aiming at. All those will bring the issue of the challenges we are having at hand mitigated. Ethics and CPD, we have a CPD policy with the minimum credits requirements for different membership categories, so that we can see that there is a continuous learning, other than just feeling that if you have a CPP, that's the end of the journey. So when we talk about innovation and future readiness, we are leveraging on existing milestones that the country has achieved. Among them is the e-procurement that has been sustainably existing since way back in 2016. This has been in place. We have what we call Umucho that has been operational and covers all the public procurement entities, including non-budgeted agencies. So all that will contribute to the future we want as a country. We do have that Umucho that covers end-to-end procurement process, from the procurement planning to contracting, including the payment and invoicing in the system. We are looking at another addition that is in the system, the digitized appeal system. So appeals at both levels can be done through the Umucho. The level 1 to the procuring entity can be done through Umucho, as well as the second level, which is the final, the independent review panel appeal, equivalent of the one we have as PPAA, I think. And so far, Rwanda has also achieved a new milestone under sustainable public procurement. Last year, 2024, October, the cabinet approved a policy on sustainable public procurement, which was followed by a national SPP training that has brought in a few members who are the champions at the national level. And these few members at the national level have started reaching out to different entities through training. And this year we've done the countrywide training on SPP, and this has been rolled out going forward. RPP's supplier and bidder categorization system for works and consultant services is existing, and it has all the levels, A to F, categorizing suppliers. And that has been a bigger milestone if we want to talk about. So at the regional level, these are some of the things we may talk about as lessons. Number one is professionalization and certifications are institutional journey. So us who are still young are going to be learning from those who have advanced or at the advanced stage like PSB, TB. And the future of supply chain requires regulated professional and ethical leaders, as already highlighted by our CEO. So we hope that ethically we are going to be, and professionally we are going to be growing a number of members. Strong professional bodies are essential for public trust, innovation, and regional harmonization. We look towards that. We are aware that we have the East African Procurement Forum that binds us together, but we look at even our regulatory bodies working together in harmonizing the laws and policies around public procurement. The IPPR model offers a practical pathway for regional collaboration, and including the mutual recognition, the CPD partnership, alignment with bodies like ours here in Tanzania. And we are looking forward to chatting with the way forward to secure a collaboration agreement with the Institute here. As I close, in conclusion, building professionals for the future supply chain requires visionary policy framework, strong institutions, and sustained collaborations. Rwanda's transition from APP to IPPR demonstrates how procurement can be elevated into a respected, regulated, and future-ready profession. And as I close, I quote, "The future of procurement and supply chain belongs to the professionals who lead with integrity, who are innovative with purpose, and creative in terms of value addition beyond compliance. Thank you so much for your attention. I look forward to continued engagement and shared learning with the Institute here and across the region and the continent at large. Thank you so much. We are happy to respond to a few questions that you may have.
Yeah, thank you, Representative from Rwanda Institute of Purchasing, for your nice presentation and sharing experience as far as procurement and supply chain profession is concerned. Yeah, we are happy to hear what you are doing in Rwanda. There are some important issues of which we as a professional board, we can also learn from Rwanda. And I know there is also some of the issues that you can learn from PSPTV Tanzania. We still have some more papers, but because of time, allow me to welcome Madam Shamim, who will give us the timetable for lunch, and then we can go lunch. Then we'll be back for having some 2 to 3 papers. Then we'll close the day. Madam Shamim, you're welcome.
Tumpigie makofi Amos Kazinza. Unajua kusimama kwenye hii stage ni inahitaji ujasiri. Sasa mtu wa manunuzi kusimama hapa naye tofauti na watu wa communication. Hongereni kwa kukaa mpaka muda huu, lakini nitaki kuwakumbusha kwamba tumesema tupo live kupitia Maelezo TV, tupo live kupitia TSN Digital, tupo live kupitia TBC. Sasa hizi movement za mabegi kama watu labda sijui imekuaje, mnaonekana live. Mambo ya dignity, integrity yanaonekana. Kwa hivyo vyombo vya habari vinaona jinsi gani kuna movement, pepa nzuri zinakuwa presented, lakini watu wetu wa procurement and supplies wanatembea na mabegi yao huko ndani. Jaribu kuheshimu pepa zinapokuwa presented, na tuko live, na hizi media ni za serikali na tuko live, kwa hiyo mama anatutizama. Kwa hiyo tuwe makini tunavyofanya hapa, tunaonekana. Naomba nitoe ratiba yetu ya chakula. Tutakuwa kuna maeneo matatu kwa ajili ya chakula.